Open world games have come a long way in recent years. We've seen them offer more freedom, more activities, more missions, and detailed stories than ever before. With the new releases on the horizon, we've put together some of our favorites that we recommend to everyone to help you pass the time while waiting. Hi folks, it's Mac, and in this video we have 15 best open world games you need to play right now. Starting off with number 15, Dragon's Dogma 2. One of the best and biggest surprises of 2024. I mean, a new Dragon's Dogma was always going to be exciting, but considering there's been nothing really like the original game, there are certainly a lot of ways the sequel could have went wrong, but it didn't. Dragon's Dogma 2 is everything you want out of a modern open-world game. It hasn't been stretched to the size of a continent just to fulfill the need of ridiculous numbers to market the game. Instead, it's an intentionally designed world. It's a huge game with a reasonable but not insane runtime, but the best thing about it is its willingness to break the mold a little bit on what to expect from an open-world game. While the basic gameplay is what you would expect, huge, open, seamless map, great quests sprinkled everywhere, Dragon's Dogma 2 surprises with how a quest will play out or tying into something else. The world is just the world. The world is hostile, traveling through it is dangerous, and one wrong step can just get you killed completely Sean Connery. And dragons. Yeah, dragons do really exist in Dragon's Dogma 2. Not just trolls, cyclops, or whatever known monsters about the game. But anyway, Dragon's Dogma 2 offers a lot of new things that you won't see in the previous game. And while I am aware that this game has a lot of criticism, we can't deny the fact that this one has undoubtedly one of the best open worlds that we can play right now. Dragon's Dogma 2 is now available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. At number 14 is Fallout 4. We've probably reached the point where some of these games have to go without saying, and Bethesda recently re-released them, spent a lot of time, got them working smoothly. At this point, Fallout 4 is about as good as it's gonna get. It's just about stable. Falling apart like it did a little while ago, it got some game-breaking bugs just creeping and crawling out of nowhere as it sometimes did. They've been essentially eliminated, and Fallout 4 in this state is pretty great. Yeah, it's not a perfect game, there's places where it could have been better, but the Institute, the Brotherhood, and the Minutemen, and all the other stuff that happens in the world of Boston in Fallout 4 makes it one of the best open world games period, not just available now. While the period is done, we can look back on Fallout 4 more complexly than some of the stuff that is easily better. But the exploration's great, it's fun to build a base, its world is full of interesting stories. At some point, criticism is totally valid. In some ways, maybe there was a bit too much of it. It didn't deserve everything it got. Fallout 4 is a great game, but even, let's say, the original run wasn't without problems. Let's say Bethesda topical in that regard. But now it's a solid as rock game. Fallout 4 is available on PC, PS5, Xbox Series, and the previous generation of those as well. If you're still rocking PS4 by the way, Fallout 4 is a very much doable game. Now it's just great. At number 13 is Far Cry 6. Probably going ahead and say that you're getting the idea. Things won't necessarily be on everybody's favorites list. But sometimes when you finish a game, you just want to fool around in an open world game. Open an outpost or two, do random stuff with, say, the capabilities of a grappling hook, and if that's your mood, Far Cry 6 is great. It doesn't matter if it's not extreme depth personified or it didn't completely and totally revolutionize the nature of Far Cry, it's certainly not a bad game. And it's not like there aren't some intriguing things about Far Cry 6. Your player character actually has a voice now, and to be frank, maneuverability in this game is a frickin' blast. There are quite a few places that Far Cry completed in total deviation from previous Far Cry games for the better. There's a lot of areas that is a great improvement over Far Cry 5 and didn't quite go into the completely new ideas that Far Cry New Dawn did. It's more of a fun romp that's not necessarily important to anybody. I can see liking this, disliking this, whatever, but it's a Far Cry game and that's all that really matters. It's a well-made one, there's plenty of good stuff in it, and it is personally one of the best Ubisoft schlock available right now. Far Cry 6 is available on PC, the last two PlayStation and Xbox consoles, as well as cloud gaming. I mean, just don't go into expecting a perfect narrative. Coming in next, we have Days Gone. A major breakthrough for Bend. Even in 2025, it is a hell of an open world game. It's not like they came out of nowhere necessarily. They'd built games before, but they'd never done one of quite this scale and ambition. Days Gone, I would say, is a game that doesn't necessarily seem on paper like it would be a runaway success necessarily. Not to say it's a success, but handling both an intricate story and a world that's absolutely jam-packed with interesting things. I mean, that's not the type of thing that they'd done in past, let's say. It's a very not as hard as it looks to screw that up. I personally love Days Gone, and I still do. You could have fun patching together stuff, crafting, exploring the byways of the Pacific Northwest, and the zombie hordes always make for a lot of fun confrontation. For me, it's the little things that make the game great though. Like, if you end up screwing up Zack Snyder-style bombastic thing, you at least have that. But the little things all come together really well in Days Gone, and that's really what shines, especially with the re-release of the game with a new coat of paint in Days Gone Remastered. I love going back to it, like the new look of the world where absolutely everything is overgrown. It's incredible. Zombies feel even more zombie than before, and I think personally things like cutscenes look far more impressive. The good news is that the game is very much as good as you want it to be. Things haven't really changed that much. The game by itself, with its pros and cons, is now available on PC and PlayStation 5, but I'd say for the standout part of the 2025 edition, it's really the visuals. There's also a new mode in the remastered version that offers more challenge if you want more. Next up, at number 11, we have Kingdom Come: Deliverance II. When the devs over at Warhorse Studios said that they wanted to make an RPG that took place in a historically accurate world, they nailed it. Now it's got everything you want from a game. Everything is medieval Europe, an RPG, fascination with detail, an authentic experience, like an open world that feels open but not empty. It's full of life and vibrant characters, and it all comes together as a playable game that is not necessarily historically accurate, but certainly feels historically accurate. I think the complement of a certain amount of profundity in it, it's pretty easy to fall in love with the game or to be in awe of what it can do. And that is something that also applies to Kingdom Come: Deliverance II, which is far from a surprise. It's a highly anticipated sequel to an incredibly well-liked game. The opinions on the sequel have been mixed. It's still far from a Ghibli game that everyone can carry. It's not as large as, for instance, Baldur's Gate 3, but nobody should be coming in expecting that. The world building in Kingdom Come: Deliverance II is second to none in terms of its detail, and does anything that helps. Facial animations look better, characters are fully voiced, the game's a joy to experience if it's what you're into. Open world and ambitious RPG definitely doesn't hurt. Kingdom Come: Deliverance II is available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. At number 10, Forza Horizon 5. I feel like I really have to mention a game something like this on this kind of list, and with the announcement of Forza Horizon 6, which is set in Japan, well, I believe this is the best time to highlight Forza Horizon 5, right? Because there's an open world in it, and it's a hell of a game to mess around in. I mean, it has a large open world, and I think that while Forza Horizon 5 is a driving game, it's a driving game and an arcadey one at that. No matter what, it is a combo. Not particularly common, but Forza Horizon 5 has endlessly activities that reward driving and racing. Plenty of time to just spend behind the wheel and traversing the map. Its exotic Mexico location is full of jungles, beaches, sandstorms. Look, the visuals are absolutely incredible, and it really gives you the impression that you're moving fast. Nobody has tried to challenge the Forza Horizon games, and still nobody really has. The formula remains exactly as you want it to be. That's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want a fun, chill, open world experience, nothing else quite like Forza Horizon 5. And Forza Horizon 6 is definitely worth looking forward to. Forza Horizon 5, however, is available on PC and the last two Xbox generations, and now also on PS5. Kind of a bold move, right? This game series is an exclusive Xbox game since then, but it is now on PlayStation, as well as the upcoming Forza Horizon 6. Coming in at number 9, we have Marvel's Spider-Man 2. It's got everything you should expect from an open-world Spider-Man game. Everyone loved the idea of swinging through New York City in the video game. We've been doing it since the PlayStation 2 and didn't even start there. We've seen the rise and fall of Spider-Man games. But between Insomniac and Sony, it's safe to say that their Marvel Spider-Man games have perfected the swing in video games. We've done everything wanted, demanded. Each new entry in the franchise is its own step on the journey to game perfection, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 is definitely a step forward. It's also good enough that we expect whatever's next is going to be probably a top-tier game. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is essentially everything that everybody who loves the first one and Miles Morales asked for. There are 2 protagonists and lots of villains, and if you played the first game, you probably wanted improvements too. They gave us that, and with the full power of the PS5 to back it up, the game looks fantastic. No matter what mode you choose to play in, performance or fidelity, there's no difference. It's an awesome game in both, and swinging, web gliding, just randomly flying around, or going stop crimes, or doing stupid mini-games, it's all back. And it's a much bigger map, including Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. The time you spend in New York just moving around is absolutely one of the highlights. These games are now, more than ever, masterpiece, and there is nothing else that can get close to the fun of motion in an open-world game as Spider-Man.
At number 8 is Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I know a lot of you guys have heard or watched how this game goes. It has a lot of flaws, and I can't deny that. I totally understand why people criticize this game. But if you're one of the fans waiting for a feudal Japan setting of Assassin's Creed for a very long time now, this is the game to play. Forget about those features that, again, I can say are bad. Just ignore them and look at what the game is offering. What we have here is a well-made Assassin's Creed game where you can play either a sneaky shinobi or a tough man samurai. Yes, just like Spider-Man 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows has 2 playable characters, and both of them have their own story plot to experience. I gotta admit, I haven't completed this game yet, but I still can say that Assassin's Creed Shadows did a good job. But anyway, of course, each of us has a different approach, and my experience and enjoyment may be different from yours. So while I recommend playing Shadows, I have to tell you that you have to do your own research first. Don't ignore the hate because, I think I'm gonna say it again, the game has some annoying parts. So yes, make sure you have all the information regarding this game before clicking that buy button. Assassin's Creed Shadows is released first on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and even Macs.
Next on the list, we have Horizon Forbidden West. And yes, this is another Sony exclusive open world game. I'm sorry, but yes, Sony has a lot of awesome open world games, and their Horizon Forbidden West is one of them. For those new to Horizon, it is a series set in a post-apocalyptic world where machines roam the earth and humans have returned to a hunter-gatherer society. And once again, you will be playing as Aloy. I know it sounds very generic, there's tons of movie games out there using this kind of a narrative and kind of a mechanics, but I think Horizon is one of those rare games with this kind of plot that made it big. The game just hit different, and that's what makes this game unique. Playing Forbidden West is super easy. Its gameplay and combat is super easy. The story, yes, quite interesting. In Forbidden West, Aloy embarks on a new adventure to the mysterious region known as the Forbidden West to uncover the cause of a deadly plague and face new dangers. So yeah, this is the second game, and the first one was also very good. So yes, you can also play the first game if you want to experience the whole game. Both games are now available on PC, PlayStation 4, and of course, PlayStation 5. Up next, we have Cyberpunk 2077.
If you've tried or even just thinking about this game a few years ago when it was first released, I believe it was very disappointing. The game was, let's just say, finished unfinished. You know what happened, but the current version now is just phenomenal. The developers, which if you didn't know are also the minds behind The Witcher 3, released the so-called Update 2.0, and they completely turned the game around. And now we have an open-world RPG set in the bustling neon-lit city of Night City, which feels like a living city to be in a video game. Roads are now even more dangerous. The characters you will be meeting are now more alive than before. The city now has a better law enforcement to keep you in control, and the life path you choose will give you the way to play the game. Well, you need to figure out how to live in this dystopian city. And of course, don't forget your mission. You are on a mission to become the most powerful mercenary in the city. But there are gangs and mega corporations that you need to work with or fight with. Therefore, we have the open world mechanics. But of course, I'm simplifying this too much. There are so many narratives and things to do that I think you will enjoy here, so I really recommend playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Anyway, moving forward, at number 5, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, a game that took everything Breath of the Wild did well and greatly improved upon it. It's a massive sandbox, probably the best example of a super open world game out there. I mean, tons of things to do. There is an overwhelming amount of things to do, and there's literally endless freedom of movement in the game. Platforming, puzzle solving, straight up doing pretty much whatever you like. Tears of the Kingdom all focused a little bit less on combat and a little bit more on enjoying the world. And that world is insane. It's a huge open world. 3 vertical levels, the depths, the surface, and the sky, all takes place in one seamless map. That's pretty amazing on its own, but we're really barely scratching the surface on the stuff that lies within Hyrule. I mean, there is enough stuff to keep you busy for months, and the amount of things possible is unreasonable almost. Like, you're not gonna do it all. You're literally not going to do it all. And part of the reason is because the game gives you such an expansive set of tools to do things that the amount of solutions for pretty much everything is like endless. Now, this game is obviously not available on as many systems as some of the other ones, but I can't not put it on a list like this. I mean, ultimately, technically, it still pulls off some pretty incredible stuff. If this type of thing is up your alley, just get your hands on it. You'll enjoy it. At number 4 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is sort of like a counterpoint to Tears of the Kingdom, where that was all about making a world that felt real and natural. This one's about spectacle. I mean, it's got everything you want: an elaborate story, incredible looking graphics, real-time combat by the truckload, but giving you a huge open world to mess around in with plenty of little secrets to find. While the Final Fantasy VII remakes are largely pretty straightforward, this one actually kind of feels like an RPG actually. It even has a lot of minor characters feel a little more fleshed out. Towns feel bigger and more alive, like there are extras, side quests and stuff that it's not going to detract from the main game. It doesn't necessarily motivate you with material reward either. It immerses you into the world, keeps pushing you forward. Pretty natural continuation. It definitely keeps some things moving, a few surprises, a few new realizations that a few of the guys might want to kick my ass. But the simple fact is, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has possibly one of the best open worlds of a JRPG I have ever seen, and it's on par with any open world out there. I mean, if it's no longer a PS5 exclusive game and you have a good PC, then I think it's really worth trying. Coming in next at number 3, if you enjoyed playing the first installment of Death Stranding, you should definitely get and play Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. This game picks up months after the end of the first game, and as usual, we will be getting the same main protagonist. But unlike the first game, Death Stranding 2 features a bigger, more explorable map, and at the same time, the story is just full of twists that I bet you won't expect. With all the features that you love from Death Stranding 1, On the Beach just improved all of them. From the graphics to the overall gameplay, I personally enjoyed everything about it. I mean, I already finished the game, I reached the ending, and just like the first game, I can honestly say, with no bias, that I love Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. Now, if you're hesitant about whether you'll enjoy the game, I recommend that you check out the first game first. Well, basically, I recommend playing it on PC, since you can literally find a lot of discounts for this game on PC. But if you're happy to try the newest installment, then the PS5 version is the only way to go. Now at number 2, we have Ghost of Yotei. Yes, as much as I love Ghost of Tsushima, I think I really have to mention Ghost of Yotei here. Of course, I still recommend Jin's story, and you can't go wrong if you decide to play it. Now, with Ghost of Yotei, expect almost the same map size as the first game, but it has its own world that you can get into. I mean, I bet you have already seen the previously showcased videos, especially now that it has been officially released. Now, if you're not hooked with that, I actually don't know what to say to you just to encourage you to play it. But either way, Ghost of Yotei is really a good game. We have a new protagonist here, and again, ignore all those woke critics who say it's a bad game because we have a female protagonist. Actually, having Atsu is like a fresh breath of air, and Sucker Punch just proved that it's not about the protagonist's gender that makes a game good. It's about the plot, the delivery, the world, and overall gameplay. Ghost of Yotei has all of that. And if you love the combat mechanics of the first game, this one totally delivers. We even got a new AI companion that will help you during crucial times. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei, a really must-play open world game. Now finally, at number 1, we have Dying Light: The Beast. If you thought the previous Dying Light's parkour-driven zombie survival was intense before, Dying Light: The Beast takes it to an entirely new level, solidifying its place as one of the best open-world games of the year.
Now, this one has you playing as Kyle Crane once again, but this time you're more than just a survivor. You're like a hybrid mix of survivor and a monster because you can now transform into something even more powerful and horrifying. This is one of the key features of this game, and it offers a lot of new gameplay and strategic approaches. Now, as previously mentioned, Dying Light the Beast, compared to its predecessors, refines the parkour mechanics, offering smoother navigation and more interactive combat scenarios. The narrative is also tighter, focusing on Crane's internal struggle and quest for redemption, while still delivering the series' signature tension and horror elements. And with a blend of RPG progression, intense combat, and a richly detailed world, I see the potential of this game being one of the biggest contenders for the Game of the Year awards this year. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment, give us a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the notification bell. The best way to see us is if you subscribe. As always, we thank you very much for watching.